Hello. Hello and welcome to our last video of today. And what we have especially prepared for you is, on Fridays, sometimes we change our classes around. Like we just changed, we saw geography, something that we normally don't do on Fridays, but we're doing it this Friday. And right now we're going to make a switch. Like right now we're going to go and see English. Sorry, I come with sound effects and I do it and I think it's fun. So what we're really going to dig into is a particular part of English. We have lots of classes inside our English. And this is going to be my favorite, I got to tell you that. It's grammar. Grammar. Okay, so in grammar, we've seen a few things. We started with the parts of speech. We saw a sentence very long time ago, and I told you that the sentence is composed of different things. And we have seen those things separately. So we saw, for example, what nouns are and how to identify the different types of nouns. And we also studied what verbs were, okay? And I told you that there are a couple of types of verbs. And at the beginning, I told you that adjectives are words that describe people or things. And now we're going to go into another section of grammar, which is called sentences and phrases. Now, you may already have this file, and maybe you already did this work because it was in our folder for last week, but we didn't have a chance to do it. So it's fine. Sometimes we skip things because our class gets a little bit long in Zoom, and we're having too much fun, and it's okay. It's okay, and I just want you to really understand this, which is why I'm making this video. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this worksheet that is scanned from our grammar book, okay? Now, this is, in case you have the book, page 10 of the grammar book. It's called Sentences and Phrases. And this is what we're going to study today. So, the first thing that we do is check the theory. The theory is what tells you what is what, okay? And a sentence is a group of words that makes sense on its own. Okay, you're going to understand this a little bit more as we see and go deeper, okay? Every sentence must contain a verb. On the other hand, a phrase is a group of words that does not make sense on its own. And most phrases are pretty short, and most phrases do not contain verbs. Now, what do we understand by that? Let's look at some examples so that you can really see it, okay? The girls ran along the beach. This is a sentence, and I know this why? Because it makes sense on its own. It makes sense. The girls ran along the beach. And here I see some girls running along the beach. And it contains a verb. Now, I'm going to explain to you basically the signs of how I know that a sentence is a sentence and a phrase is a phrase. So I have here the girls, who are the people, and we also call this sometimes the subject. And they're doing something. I'm going to switch color to tell you what they're doing. What are they doing? Well, they ran. They ran. This is the verb. This is the action. It's in the past. The girls ran along the beach. This is the verb. Okay? And all of this stuff is other information that I have to make sure that my sentence makes sense. Now, we'll look to this other side. It says, along the beach. Do we have a person? No. Do we have a verb? No. Then this is a phrase. It does not make sense on its own, and it does not contain a verb. So if I tell you, I went to the beach. The beach is a nice place. All of those things have verbs, and they make sense, and they stand on their own. But if I say tomato soup, but what happened to the tomato soup? Who made this tomato soup? What are you talking about, miss? That's when I know that I'm saying a phrase. Okay? Now, what are we going to do? This is a worksheet that you're going to do. If you don't have it printed out, that's fine. Just make sure that you follow the instructions, and you can do this on your copybook, on your notebook, on a piece of paper, on a block, on whatever space you have that is suited for you to write in. So you're going to need your handy pencil and an eraser. And you're going to do what? First exercise says, switch back to green, it says, copy this table. Write the sentences and phrases in the correct column. So you're going to make a column like this on a separate sheet of paper, where on one side it's going to say sentences, and on the other side it's going to say phrases. Okay? And you have all of these to choose from. Okay? Now, a few things that we have been learning about sentences that I have been teaching you since we began is that a sentence, okay, apart from being a group of words that make sense, it starts with a capital letter and it ends in a period. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but here on this phrase, I don't have a capital letter here. And there is no ending to this. So those are another clue that I can use to determine if I am facing myself with a sentence or a phrase in front of me. Now, let's read over here. A ghostly sea captain spoke to the girl. I have a capital letter. I have a period. I have a person, a ghostly sea captain. I have a verb. Spoke is the verb. Verb. So, in other words, this would go in the sentence category. So I have to write here, a ghostly, whoa, a ghostly sea captain spoke to the girl. Sea captain. I'm not gonna have enough space to write all this. But you have to make it on your own so that you have space. And also, you can write the entire sentence. Well, I'm trying to make it fit. Okay, so here we go. Now, the silverfish, does that begin with a capital letter? No. This silverfish, is it doing something? No. So it's a phrase. So I write over here, the silverfish. Do I capitalize the? No, because it's not the beginning of a sentence. I don't need to capitalize anything. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to classify, sort of rewrite these sentences and phrases into the column that they belong to. Do you understand? Yes! Beautiful. And the second part that you have to do with each sentence is underline each verb. So in your sentences category, I already underlined the one on letter A. So whatever other sentence you have to find the verb and underline it like we did a few weeks ago in the verbs class. Okay? And after that, after you're done with that, you can go on to the next page, which says, now try these, and you have exercise number 1. Choose a phrase from the box to complete each sentence. So over here, you have some sentences that are missing a phrase. So let's read the phrases. In its cage, because of the fog, through the town, over the wall, at night, after the rain. So let's read letter A. The zookeeper put the vulture back. Now, a vulture is this, a very long and very big bird. It's a type of species of bird which is called a scavenger. I'll explain that to you one day. Now, birds that are kept in zoos have to be in certain places, like for example, in a cage. So to me, what's missing in this sentence is the phrase in its cage. So I'm going to say the zookeeper put the vulture back in its cage. Now notice that it's does not have an apostrophe, guys, okay? It does not have an apostrophe. Just pay attention to that. I'll explain it to you later on, okay? The soil was very wet. Now, when something is wet, it's because it received water. We're talking about soil, which is on the ground where you plant plants, or if you see it under the grass. So one of these has to fit in there. 3 girls climbed. Now, when you climb, you have to go on top of something and to the other side. Owls come out to hunt. Now, owls are birds, okay? They are not like the scavenger, they're different. They go ooh, ooh, and they have really big eyes. And they are hunters, okay? But they do that specifically at certain periods of the day. The fire spread where? The football match had to be canceled. Why? Is there a reason? Okay. Then exercise number 2. It says write 6 of your own sentences using each phrase from the box. So you create sentence number 1 using the phrase under the sea. Sentence number 2 using the phrase down the hill. Sentence number 3 with the phrase at midnight. Sentence number 4 with the phrase outside the house. Sentence number 5 with the phrase in the woods. And sentence number 6 with the phrase because of the cold. Okay? You have to create those with your knowledge. Whatever you think that makes sense, that you can include these phrases to create your own sentences. Do it individually, okay? By yourselves. You are so smart that I trust that you can do this and much, 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 much more. The last thing that we have today is a very funny exercise. It says practice your punctuation. Write these pairs of sentences, adding the missing punctuation and swapping the verbs. Swapping is like interchanging, so that each sentence makes sense. The first one has been done to help you. So the first one says, the lady laid an egg. The hen fried an egg. Now, do you see a hen frying an egg? Now, that doesn't make sense. So what you should do is rewrite the sentences so that you capitalize the first letter, the lady, fried an egg. So you had to swap. You put laid where fried is and fried where laid is, because ladies don't lay eggs and hens don't fry eggs. And the hen laid an egg. You see how it begins with a capital letter and it has a period at the end, so I expect that you do the same. Fishes trot, horses swim. Now, horses can swim, I will give you that. But fishes, do they trot? Okay. The man boiled his scarf. The cook lost the potatoes. Those don't make sense. The goat sang the grass. The girl ate the song. Oh my God, would you imagine? What's for lunch? A song. Then, the builder shaved the house. The house must have been hairy. The man built his chin. Wow, with wooden blocks? Okay. The teacher roasted her husband. The doctor kissed a chicken. Wow, that's crazy. I gotta tell you, that's crazy. So you have to fix this craziness and make sure it makes sense. You have to add the punctuation at the beginning and at the end, the capital letter at the beginning and the period at the end. Okay, kids? All right. So now when you're done with these activities, you can very successfully begin your weekend because today is Friday. Now, I wish you all have a great, great weekend. Please stay safe and stay healthy like we want you to. And hopefully, I'll see you on Tuesday's Zoom class. I have videos for you on Monday, so we're all set for next week. Okay, guys? Now, namaste. Peace out. Take care of yourselves.